Welcome back, everybody. It is the first round, the opening round to UBAL Season 16 here in Spain at the circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. And there we're watching Flicks go on his qualifying lap. And we're just going to see how these drivers handle the first track of the season. Watching Nuno go around turn 4, keeping it close. Title contenders expected to be Hernandi and Nuno. We've seen talks of JT being able to fight for the win this race as well. It's going to be a really exciting season to see who can come out on top at the end. And as the first lap's finished, we're going to see Charge JT takes pole, provisional pole as expected. Kraft in second. So a really good performance from the Scuderia Paracaros. And Nuno in third. Matimar in fourth, 31.83. Wow.
That is really impressive. Now we're
going to see if JT can improve his time.
That car does look like it's on rails.
Yeah, Kraft in second as well, and he improves by 0.02 seconds. A Demon King, as expected. Yeah. The qualifying merchant himself is in second now, 31.67, just 2/10 off of 200ths off of Charge JT's time. Kraft maintained his position in third at 31.72. And can Charge JT improve on his lap once again? Rounds the final corner. I'm going to see. He does improve to a 31.53. Hernandi equals that time. Corvid in third. So the final qualifying standings. In first is Charge JT, and in second Hernandi, who ties with him, 31.53. And in third is Corvid in the Flow Force. Fourth, Demonkin. And fifth is Kada. Sixth is Flicks, an impressive qualifying performance from the current, CL leader. Seventh is Kraft, who at the beginning was in second, but fallen down the order. Eighth is Anti-Amazing, missing out on his proposed pole. It's unfortunate for him. Ninth is Kubo. 10th is Serenuno, who surprisingly is in 10th. Disappointing.
Yeah, he didn't do that much practice, so
yeah.
I mean, this fast is still quite impressive.
11th.
Matimar in 11th with his 31.82 for the first lap, which is really solid still. Randy on 12, about where you'd expect to see him. Sharon's 60 on a very limited amount of practice, as far as I'm aware, in 14, so expect him to climb a little during the race. Then Rams on his return with Links in 15th. Kuziman on his debut with his new team of Flow Force in 16th, which is, it's 16th. Koromi as reserved for Neon Sunset in 17th, which is what it is, and a Eurus in 18th with a little bit of a gap to the back end. So
a gap to the end.
He'll want to play it smart to gain some positions there, which he is quite known to do.
But as we ready up for the actual race now, Hernandi starts on pole. 5 red lights and away we go. Hernandi takes the lead of the race. Charge JT in second. Demon King loses out on positions to Corvid. Kada flicks alongside him now as well. Nuno's managed to get his way up to 7th. Oh, and Demon King's gone off the track. Nuno takes advantage of that.
So
might be a chance for rain.
Early rain, that's bound to shake things up too.
But Hernandi keeps his lead. And Matimar has made his way up to 4th. Corvid alongside him on the medium tyres. But the sun is out, and Corvid may actually be able to take advantage of going on those harder tyres for the end of the stint. It's a big battle for 7th, as the RMCs, the NTHs battle out. Kraft in 11th. Rams as well, 6 wide, making his way up to 13th place.
It's pretty much an entire pack all
Yep.
the way. Now there's two big packs in the grid, and a lot of side-by-side action going on between the two. Now, indeed, most cars have opted to start on the softer tires in the hopes of gaining some early positions, but well, if everyone's on the soft, it doesn't do you that much. Meaning the new cars on mediums and hards, if they can just hold on to their position now, that's really good for them because they can get
Yeah.
some clean air and then get some better tires later on in the race to hopefully gain positions.
Strategy should be interesting, as we've seen a new rule added, the 2 compound rule, but it won't. I don't think it's in this race, though, is it, Juan?
It's not in this
It's not in
race,
this
as
race.
their Kuntu Combat rule is only in effect if there is no rain predicted, and as you all have already seen with the clouds, it might just go raining here, so the only choices drivers have to make are whether whatever tires they want, and then whether to take into account that risk of rain,
What a
which
big
has been
pack
known to
in
quite
6th
make
place.
or break some races.
Yeah. The rain has been known to strike at quite random times, and we've had the instances of fake rains which have really mixed up the grid. And we'll see if such an occurrence happens in this race today. It'll be interesting to see how the grid forms up if such an event happens. Currently in the lead is Hernandi, then it's Kata and Matamar, who's done really impressively to get up into the podium position. Charge AT right behind him is Nuno, and then Flix as well. The first pack of 6, somewhat making a gap, and the leader of the next pack is Corvid. He's having to fight off Jaruni, Rams, and 6Y on the softs. But Corvid's made up the gap, so...
Those,
Oh, and he makes a
and
mistake.
Corbett he makes mistake, but he still
Managed to
manages
get
to hold on to Flix ahead. So
with the
we have
peak
one
powers
massive
that he has.
drain
This is
all the
incredible.
way, a big
Aircraft pushed
drain
off
from
him.
P1 to P8.
6-5 pushed off as
Some
well by Rams. We'll see if that ends up being a penalty or not. Anti following
I
right
don't.
behind Rams. We
In
can check
general,
that
it's just
fast.
lots of scuttles for positions because everyone, of course, wants to be at the front of the train because all of these drivers, well, most of them, they
Speaking of
have
the
some
front,
ego involved. So
yeah,
whenever you're in a train, most drivers are just gonna say, "Yeah, I'm the faster guy here. Just let me pass." And sometimes they just say, "Yeah, I'm not," but I still just want to lead because that means you're in control. You get to
very strong
be the
fight
one to
for
take
third right
initiative.
now. It's second, Kata, Flix, Jaruni, Matamar, and Nuno all fighting out for the second podium position as Hernandi is able to pull away quite significantly. So we'll see how that plays into his hands. Kata,
And the first set of softs are dying now, so you
you
expect
will
a
see
whole lot of
some
cars into
undercuts.
the pit lane. However, Hanani, Flix, 6-5, and Kubo all stay out.
Uh,
Kraft,
Kraft
Kraft,
and
Corbett.
Corvid
There's
anti-amazing
a
as
whole
well.
lot of people pulling that 9 flap on the soft, so we'll have to see what the undercut does. It's been quite effective in the past, but well, for people staying out, if you stay out a little longer and every time you might save a pit stop by the end of the race, which is quite worth it.
Clouds do
Now the
come
question
in,
is, where does
red
Anandi
rain.
come out in the field? And we see Corvitz pulling out into the lead, having
Hernandi
not
will
yet
beat
pitted.
JT out. Or not, JT beats Hernandi out of the pits, but Hernandi has the
But that's
one
an
lap newer tyres, and so JT
and
might
JT
find himself
knows that and
disadvantaged.
seems to not challenge Anandi too much.
Kata is
However,
pushing his way through. He is not having it. He's known to be a very aggressive driver, but they've both gone off the off road there, and the rain has come in. Corvid and Anti have gained massively.
yeah, they
Hernand
got this
wow,
absolutely right.
very fortunate
And
for them.
Grandy also benefiting a whole lot from this, as does Jurist. All of them having all not yet pitted. They had just the right tire for the stint they had to end up doing.
Definitely more rain. So Eurus, who's gone on the Inters, and Rams as well, they're going to be a little bit disadvantaged. The Inters not as strong as the wets in the
Yeah,
obviously wetter conditions.
Yours probably a little bit squeezed there, but on his screen, that's
The
fairly
lane is
common
really
metro
brought the
stuff.
pack
And
together. And so we're going to see a lot more fighting. Grandy also attacking
well,
Urist. he's
we
he's,
have
uh,
Corbett
he's
and
challenging.
Anti who are comfortably a few seconds ahead of the rest of the pack, so that's really good for them. They'll be the main dilemma for them is, or the main priority for them is just staying ahead of that chasing pack where the battling happens, where the time loss happens, where you're at risk of just getting pushed off, which
The
is
sun
quite common,
has
especially in
gone over.
conditions like these.
Yeah, I think the
So they're
Inters,
just
the
gonna
drivers
hope.
on the Inters are actually going to find themselves at an advantage here. Because the wet condition, the water didn't manage to set in all the way, and so we're going to have half wet conditions. And as the track slowly dries even more, the Inters should find their rhythm. 6Y
Now,
Grandy Demon
the
King.
dilemma a lot of these drivers face, especially the ones on Inters, is do we stay out another lap in the hopes that maybe the rain returns and will they gain massively, or just they can be faster on a slightly damp track
Some drivers going
with
into the
the
pits
Inters and
already.
the slick.
JT and Matamar, and we're going to see what tyres are going to come out on. JT on the softs, Matamar on the hards, but the track is still wet, so they might find themselves made the wrong decision. What do you think, Juan?
We'll
Oh,
have to
we
see
saw
where
some
they
kind of
come out.
incident between 6Y and someone else there. I think they both went off the track on a lag rocket. Unfortunate.
That
Um,
takes a runoff. Kuziman is
Demon King
in
is deep.
P11 followed by
6Y and
Craft,
Rams just find themselves in the grass again.
and now the
Another
track is fully dry, so
Demon
expect
King
a whole
again
lot of
goes into the
cars.
grass. JT on the
And
sus now.
he
Uh,
takes a whole lot of cars, but ends up
and the rain
behind both
comes in
players.
again. What a
The
surprise.
rain comes back
Corvid.
right after. Now everyone has come in by now, so the only people benefiting from this are the ones that pitted onto the softs and only very slightly.
Very unfortunate situation for
Because,
Anti-Amazing, who's gone the hards
well,
hoping to take it for a longer stint, and the
that,
rains come in, so he's going to struggle with slower pace as
well,
Hernandi is slowly going to catch up to him.
that's cost him a few tenths, but not a disaster.
Yeah, as
The
the rain comes in,
real
and heavy rain in, so definitely the best tyre here. The wets, Kata and Urist going on the inters again, and the other
Yeah,
drivers already.
especially yours is quite a big fan of the intermediates. I think it's been a long, long time since he ever fit at the wets in UL.
Yeah, we'll see
Now
how
Corbett
that
comes in,
strategy
and
plays out for him. But
well,
Corvid,
the closest car on wet tires already is Scatter, who is quite a whiles back, and more rain is coming, so the wet tires are really the way to go rather than the intermediates, most likely.
Anti-Amazing going on the hards here. I don't know if that's a visual glitch, um, but
I mean, looking at him driving,
it looks like he's.
oh
I
no,
think he's actually gone on the hards. I think he's.
um,
That is a
that's probably
strategy error.
not
That's gonna
intentional. That's not intentional.
really
I guess.
unfortunate. Nuno goes around this, or maybe,
Oh, but the
or
sun
maybe
does come.
Anti is is an oracle because the sun has come out, but the track is too wet. I don't think he's really gonna gain from this one,
Now
to be
he's
honest.
been. Now he's losing realistically 3 seconds a lap, being on the wrong tires right now.
Very unfortunate for him.
So 3 laps of this, and he will lose a whole pit stop here. So
As we check back in with the leading pack behind Corvid, who's got a massive 3.4 second gap on everyone else. But the wet's coming again, and that I think has
and that's
sealed Anti's
fucking
fate
with
there.
Anti even more because
So
now he just did those
really,
wet
really
laps
unfortunate.
on the slick tire for no benefit at all.
JT going to make the move around the outside of Hernandi, and he's managed to make it stick. But I think he's going to lose out as they go through turn 3, around turn 4. JT has the inside line, and they're just going wheel to wheel now as they continue to go side by side. Who's going to come out ahead? JT forced to
takes
go.
it to the runoff. Into the hairpin, just follows, and well, he has another lap or so where he just has the better car being on the intermediates, and then
But I
Well,
think
the rain is
the
building,
rain
so
is going to build up on the track, and he is going to find
he just
himself
sends it,
a little bit
and
slower.
then cuts across.
And Corvid is the only one gaining from such a situation, as Hernandi and JT slow each other down even more, and the gap is growing. Previously 3.4, now 3.8. I think he's got a really good shot at the win here. Would be his second career
Well,
win, I think, unless I'm wrong. But I feel his first win.
he did lose a little time, but yeah, every second the guys behind him spend battling is another second he gets a chance to pull a little more of a gap, which at this stage is really valuable.
Demon King
Because the
10
more of a gap you
seconds
have,
behind. I don't know what happened. I mean, 10
he
seconds, a huge
spent,
gap. I'm not sure
yeah,
what happened
he
there.
made some big errors on the strategy. He spent a lot of time on the wrong tires and then did not benefit from it. So we'll have to see if he can close a little, but that would require him to be about 4 tenths faster than Anti, who
Mm.
also Anti's in 17th. That's a shame that rain call of staying out really did not pay off, or getting onto the hards really did not work out for him because it dropped him all the way from the front into P17.
And
That's
the Inter drivers are seeing their hopes really struggle even more because the rain has come in even more. But I think I don't know how long the wet tires last. They might have to pit
they
once more.
last quite a while.
Uh,
Indeed, these tires are now starting to wear, so sooner or later, these drivers might just have to consider whether to pit for a fresh wet tire at the risk of it drying up quickly after that and them losing a whole lot of time,
it's really
or
interesting
indeed
how the
sticking
drivers
it out and losing even more if they just have to
Matama
drive on.
pushed into the grass by Flex, an unfortunate event. Kubo in 10th, Eurus following right behind him in 11th. Uh,
And that's some clever driving by Yuris, having started all the way at the back, of course, to
I think
find himself
Kraft's
into the
gone on
top 10
the
now.
UX. I think he's pit. I don't know why else he'd be down in 16th. But maybe that gamble won't work out for him.
Yes, Kraft has just pitted onto fresh wet tires, so the longer it stays wet now, the more he's gonna gain from this. But it has just stopped raining, so it might have been a very risky bet, and it's not looking like it's gonna pay off unless the rain comes back very soon.
Kata down in 9th place. I think he's pit as well. Some of the drivers opting to pit now, but that may have been the wrong strategy call as the sun comes out again.
So,
The weather really
so this
volatile
track is
today.
gonna be drying, and it is going to be drying fast because, of course, the sun is shining hard on it soon. Meaning the wet cars gain more of an advantage still because they are going very fast from a full wet to a full dry track, so not a lot of time spent in that intermediate in between zone.
Let's check back in with second Hernandi. I think the 2, 3, and 4th positions. I think they found their kind of groove, and they're just slipping Hernandi to try and close the gap on Corvid. Clearly
And
some
they are doing that quite
teamwork being done.
successfully because that gap has been cut in half.
Previously 3.8 and now 2 seconds. So Corvid definitely struggling with the pace here.
And the rain is back,
The
so
weather is
all
so
of the cars
volatile
that
in
pitted
Spain.
for
Another
all of the cars that pitted for better tires now, for fresh tires, they're gonna be benefiting a whole lot all of a sudden.
yeah.
So it turns out Kraft might just be a fucking genius right now.
Kata, also one of the drivers to be able to benefit from pitting in the wet conditions, as these are also on newer wet tyres. Matama calling for the slip on Flicks as they're going to try and close the gap to charge, but that 6-second gap I don't think is going away anytime soon. Hernandi closing the gap even more, and I think Corvid is really going to struggle with the pressure on him. He's had such an advantage going into the first half of the race, having been lucky with the rain, and now he's going to see Hernandi come over the horizon. But I think Corvid's going to pit
And
now.
Corbett, so now it's really a strategy bet. If the race stays, it's quite likely he manages to catch on if he can get away from this chasing pack, of course.
We're not seeing
If
much side by
Mark
side
is
race. It's more of just a strategy battle here. Already observing here in the
well,
volatile weather conditions of Barcelona. The clouds
and
coming
it's
in.
gonna dry
Is
up,
he gonna
so
dry out again? Hernandy's
Nani and
really
Nuno,
pushing those wet tires, and Corvid may find himself in a pretty bad position. He's lost 3 positions, and not only that, around 6 seconds, 7 seconds of time pitting. So it's gonna be really
yeah,
unfortunate
he
for
lost
him.
him. This is gonna have cost him maybe a podium if he's not,
And it is
or if
going
he's a
to dry
little
out
unlucky.
with the sun.
But
Corvid is going to be hitting himself in frustration as he's seen the win slip away from his hands as the sun once again comes out to dry the track. Matama in a very solid position of 5th. Kada, who was one of the ones to pit, he's kind of recovered to 6th place. Giruni right behind him in 7th. 6Y in 8th, Flicks in 9th, and I think the clouds, I think it's definitely going to dry out at this point. Kraft in 10th, recovered from, well, like 16th.
yeah, that's the bet. The gamble he made did pay off reasonably well, but
I think he would have gone higher position. But it's Hernandi, it's Nuno, and JT who are all going to pit. And Corvid's stayed out. And we've seen the rain come in once again. So I think...
that was ballsy because he did just pass the pit entry.
And he's been greatly rewarded for it.
So
because the rain is
had
going
it
to come
been
in.
dry, he would have been.
But
Had it been dry, he would have just been stuck out there. But now, well, he's still taking it.
Andy, Nuno, and JT gonna make the final second decision to switch to the Inters. But the sun has come out again, and at this point, I feel like it's getting frustrating for the drivers here because these are just some nonsensical weather conditions.
A whole lot of them are going to be visiting their therapist after this.
And Andy goes off the track, pushed off by Kato.
This is going to be a little... that's bad luck for him. He'll be... At least he did manage to hold on to Nuno's slip. No, he didn't.
Nuno's going to overtake Kato. And I think he's definitely going to have the advantage being on those newer tyres. Kato's lost the slip. Hernandi, and he's been slowed down somehow. JT
really,
is
really
fighting.
acting.
Kato is struggling on those
really
dying
acting as a rear gunner for Nuno here, just holding off the drivers on the fast.
And JT is going to stay out. Maybe not the best decision.
He's going to hope the rain comes back now, because if the rain now comes back, then he gets the lead just off that call.
He's going to lose out massively if the rain does not. And considering the weather conditions are like sunny, it's going to take some time for the the rain to really settle in with the onto the track.
Yeah.
So I think he was going to lose out either way. Corvid has the
now is he going to settle for the podium, or is he going to gun for the win? And he's just coming to the pits. So he's going likely pitting onto the hards.
The mediums. 11 laps. Pushing.
That's a little ambitious. Maybe he's hoping the rain comes back, but it should be drivable.
Giruni has managed to make his way up to 3rd or 4th. No, 3rd. Well, I mean, I don't even know where he's come from here, but he's on the soft tyres, and I think he's going to have a solid chance to fight for the podium position here.
Well,
Nuno Kata stuck behind him. Oh wait, no, he's going to have to pit on the soft, surely.
They're going to be smart. They're going to just borrow those softs, borrow the pace of that soft, which is really going to help them close up to Corvette if Cherry manages to pull out some pace.
Flicks and Kuba going side by side, now going into turn 4. Kuba has the inside line. Flicks cannot make the overtake, and he hits the grass, and Kuba goes in ahead.
What's interesting at the front is people are not really feeling like Cherry is worth slipping to.
I think
just got passed by a whole lot of cars.
Nuno in second,
and of course he has to.
Hernandi also fighting for this podium position.
Well, they're going side by side, and that's looking like some netcode might have been about to go wrong there.
Corvid's to lose here.
Cherry, Jera and yours are the only cars here that are probably still going to pit,
It is a.
or
Is that a
either
six-way
that or
battle for
really
the
struggle.
final two podium positions? I think it is because you've got Nuno, Hernandi, Kada, JT,
Yeah.
Jiruni, and 6Y. But I think Jiruni's really pushing those soft tires.
Rooney
Remember,
goes
he hasn't
around the
pit.
outside onto the grass,
Struggling to
and
get
still holds on to
on
that,
them.
and 3 wide into turn 4, which
I don't think he's going
rarely
to be able
ends
to
well,
hold
but
on
they,
here because he is clearly pushing those softs beyond their limits. They are going to die by the end of this
yeah,
stint. I think
he's probably gonna be coming in for another pit stop and then hopefully catch up with his pack.
a really exciting
But
battle for second place. Hernandi trying to go around the outside of Nuno, and he's going to try and make the overtake on the straight, but he's backing off here. As maybe they're trying to lose the 4 other drivers behind them. I think that's Jer in the pits though, and he's moved down to,
yeah, one
well,
mistake for
11th.
any of these people now, and that's just the end of their battle for the podium.
A really great recovery
That's
from
the
Antti.
level of intensity we're on right now.
We saw him right at the back after his botched strategy call to go on the hards and the wet conditions. But he's recovered to 12th, which isn't really the level he wants to be at, but I think it's a decent recovery considering the strategy that he chose. Nuno currently
He
has
has
second.
got some,
Yeah.
and of course, Andy is now borrowing some more slip off Cherry until he goes into the pits, so that's gonna be another chance for him to, well, I said slip Cherry, but he just lost that. He just probably made a big mistake or got pushed off, but Andy's just kind of in no man's land right now, as unlike the 5 cars up ahead, which are still in this massive train, and
It is
all of
really
them are just
anyone's
hoping for that.
podium here. It could be any of the 5, and it's going to be a really exciting battle. For the final 5 laps, JT pushing his way past 6Y, past Hernandi, but he hits the grass as Hernandi squeezes him into the inside, and Nuno manages to retain his position of second, and the battle is just getting started.
JT takes a run off, slots back into 4th place.
Hernandi makes the
Catter
great mistake.
catches up with the train and just hits some grass, so he's barely hanging on to that train right now. Sometimes he has a slipstream, sometimes he does not. Nuno still holds the lead. And these guys, they're pretty
JT on the
respectful for the
mediums.
moment, but
I
because
think
of
he's going to be a
course,
little bit disadvantaged with that. His tyres are going to die earlier, so he might.
yeah, there's mediums are really at the end of their lifespan about now, so
He's got
he's gonna
3
be
more laps to
sliding a
go.
lot at the end of this race. So as long as he has Nuno's slipstream and can just hold on, as long as he can cling onto that barely, then he's all fine. But
Charles
the
JT
moment he
trying to make the
drops it,
overtake, and that's Kada going off the track there. I don't know what happened there, but I think he's lost his chance to get at the podium here. JT knowing that he's going to run out of time to take this podium position, I think he's getting a little bit more antsy, a little bit more aggressive on Nuno.
well, he has a podium position, just
But no, I
another
feel
step higher,
he's really going to
another
struggle
few
to
extra
keep it though,
points.
because those mediums are going to die. He's on the final 2
Yeah,
laps.
that's probably why he also really wants to lead, because he can take the lead now of that little train and then try and hold on
Maybe,
to it.
yeah, defend going into the final few laps. 6Y in 5th. Maybe he can take a surprise podium position here.
What Sixfire is really hoping for right now is just JT makes an error and knocks the other 2 guys into the gravel. Because
Biding his
that's
time
really
in
just
5th.
he's just waiting for an opening. He's just waiting for a gap to slip into, and then he gets a whole lot of extra positions. But they're keeping it in one piece up ahead, so he might have to get a little more aggressive right now if he's hoping for anything bigger.
It's a battle going into the
And
final
again,
lap. Jaruni flicks Kraft and Kubo. Jaruni on the soft tyres, and I'm not sure if he's pit recently. I think he has, and they are newer, so I think he's going to have the advantage going into the final. So I think Corvid rounding the final corners. Very interesting weather conditions today that mostly played into his hands, and I think he's going to take the win in the opening round of season 16 in Spain. Nuno, Hernandi beats Nuno to the line, and 6Y in
mere
4th,
pixels.
JT
That's
in 5th, Kata
like
6th.
2/100ths of a second.
I mean,
Konami
wow.
beats out, 6Y beats out JT, so his tires really died at the end there, costing him another 2 positions. Like Catter holds on to 6th, Kubo comes back over to 7th. Cheru, after pitting from the front pack, still a
Demon
solid
King.
finish in 8th.
Last.
Flix with a really solid result into 9th. And
Uh,
then,
so yeah, Corvid is going to take the win in the first round in Spain. So huge congratulations to him. It's Hernandi who beat Nuno to the line to take the second position. Third, obviously, Nuno. Fourth is 6 White, missing out on that podium by just 4/10 of a second. JT in fifth. Sixth is Kada. He's also going to take the fastest lap at 31:25. Seventh is Kubo. Eighth is Jaruni. Ninth is Flix. 10th is Kraft. And 11th is Matamon, missing out on the top 10 position there, so frustrating for him. 12th is Anti, after his botch strategy call, as we remember. I think he did a really good job at recovering from basically what was last. 13th is Guziman, great drive for him in the flow force. 14th is Rams, 15th was Grandy, 16th was Golomi, 17th was Urest, and 18th an unfortunate Demonkin.
yeah, I think one thing, other than of course Corvid's insane drive, well, I should also point out, 6 I think gained 10 positions over the race, which is impressive. But of course, can you ask Corvid if he wants to
Yeah, we can do
interview him
now.
voice?
So yeah,
I
Corvid,
think we're doing interviews.
if he's not in the radio yet, but maybe we'll wait for him to come up. Maybe we can find someone else to interview first.
Well, it's just who do we have here?
And we have Corvid.
Alright, we have Corvid here. We have Corvid.
Tell us about
our race
your win.
winner of today.
How was it?
Well, I'm just a bit blown out of words in terms of just like I overperformed everything I wanted to do today. The quali was so good. I'm so happy to start in the front 2 rows, and then the start wasn't too bad. I saw that everyone was going for soft, so I decided to just mix it up and go for mediums at the start, and it paid off. I was hoping to run for about 11 or 12 laps on them, just see how it could go on them. And it paid off, and then I called the weather right every time. The pace was good enough with the wet weather tires. I was struggling in the middle of the race where the first set of wets I put on were like really worn. That's why I went for the second stint like right then and there, because I knew that if I could jump everyone behind me on the second stint, that I'd have the race in the bag, and it turned out that way. So yeah. Really happy with that.
Great news. Do you feel like you have the weather to thank there? I feel like you got not to take anything away from you, but the weather did certainly play into your hands a little bit.
Oh, definitely. But it's all the case of just like playing it right and just playing to what I could do with what it was given to me, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I went for like again I saw that I was struggling on the worn wets and I was falling away to the chasing pack, and I just went for the stop there because I knew that if I kept going the way I was going to fall and lose the lead. So I sort of gambled in that situation, but I knew that the wets have been on for a long time, and if I did that a lap later, I would have gotten overtaken by Kata as well. So it was just the right timing for that move.
So clearly some luck, but also some incredible risk taking, and obviously really good pace there.
Yeah.
Well done, Corvid. Great drive.
Thank you.
Who else do we want to interview there? Juan, maybe Hernandi. You beat Nuno to the line. Let's go, Hernandi. Hernandi, how do you feel beating your former teammate to the line in the first race?
Oh well, that final move was just a product of all this chaos, this race. We had that 5-way fight for P2. It was probably the most fun I had, at least this year, but maybe in my whole career. A really great pack of nice drivers.
How do you feel, Nuno? Unless you have anything more to say.
Yeah, nothing also just want to say that Kubo also did a really good job. He had to do a really big comeback, and I think it's really good for the team, and we might actually be able to fight FGR.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
Kubo definitely brought out a pretty decent comeback. Kubo, do you have anything to comment on that? On your lovely comeback?
Well, it was a chaotic, um, it was a chaotic drive all the way throughout. Very much and like outside the top 10. So was very lucky to get a double slip overtake at the end there past Jera and Flex. And yeah, I'm just happy I managed to get in the top 8.
Very nice.
Impressive results there, and of course some good extra points towards a constructive battle. If you, well, hopefully you're in that. So
Uh,
this next,
do you want to go for Nuno then? If you can unmute and speak about your race.
Nuno, do you have anything to comment?
Well, no, I'm the one making the questions. What do you guys thought about commentating the race? I'm sure.
Nah, I mean, like,
I'm sure it was-
quali, I didn't know what
Yeah,
to
I
say, honestly. Like, what do you... Because you can't really see all the drivers, and you really comment on, like, the one guy's lap that you're, spectating. So I kind of struggled with saying anything in the
Yeah,
qualifying stage.
Yeah, for me the race I think was very chaotic one. From P10 a lot of things could have happened, but I somehow managed to get up there, so I guess I might be having a good minus plus for the start. And yeah, really with the rain it's, can go both ways. It's like a double-edged sword, I guess. And yeah, we all tried to stay out there, me, Hanandi, and CharGT, but then, it did the worst thing that could have possibly done, which is give us that idea that it's going to stop, just to then appear right when it's about to start again, and yeah, then we got Corby undercutting us, Kyler as well. A lot of people were there at the front. Rooney randomly up there, then Flakes as well. Like that was like the end of the road. Like I mean, when Anti didn't get pole from Catalonia, we know the road would end. So yeah, we kind of just saw that with this race. But yeah, it was a fun race in the end. I really just looking to chill, and I think this is pretty much where I'm looking forward. So yeah, very excited.
And congratulations on your podium as well. I mean, Juan, do we have any more time for anyone else, do you think?
I don't know.
Guess we could
Here
do
you
one more.
have next night. In
Or...
theory, you have until someone falls asleep here, so.
I mean, do we have anyone? We can just...
Does anyone feel like maybe Jersey Man? He made
Yeah.
I think he
P13.
also got his. I think he got his best ever result. I might have to check that. I think he just got his best ever UL result.
Guzan, did you have anything to say about your race? Crazy weather conditions we saw out there.
About my race, I mean, it was a bit of chaos at the start, as always. The rain, the one fake rain, which I thought was gonna be fake. I followed Kubo, played out, and it was not fake rain, and that's basically how my race went to shit after that, I guess. So yeah, not happy, but hopefully I'll do better in the next races.
Unfortunate to hear about that.
Yeah,
I think, well, that's basically all we have time for. So we'll see you next time. The next round will be in Japan, Okayama.